Okay, so I think that's me streaming. Okay. Hello, anyone who's there. Great to see you. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I thought as the price of Bitcoin is looking really spicy, I would give it a go. I think that's me streaming. Okay. Hello, anyone who's there? Right, the sound sounds weird because right, so what I've done, I've turned off the internal mic on my laptop and I put on just the microphone mic. So testing, 1, 2, 3. Let me try that in a minute. Hello, Cyprian. So what I've done, I've turned off the. Okay, that sounds great. Okay. Hello, Cyprian. How you doing? Let me know if the sound is okay. And I just want to add a few things to this stream. Oh, I didn't realise I was showing that screen. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to add. I'm going to add a image, which will be a QR code. I'm going to browse for that. So that's the Blofin one. Okay. Sorry about this. I'm just oh, look, forget that. Yeah, let's not worry about that. Let's see if this shows the chart properly. So let's see if it shows that. There's a little delay. Oh, sounds okay, and BTC price as well. Yeah, I know. That's why I thought I'd hop on. Okay. Just waiting for the. Okay, that's good. So I think all the screen is there. That's great. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm looking at Bitcoin on the 1 minute time frame, and that one I want on the 3 minute time frame. And there's something that's happened which is quite good. Let's just have a look at this one here. So I'm just going to get a drink of water. I'll be back in a sec. Just get myself organised a little bit. Anybody else here? 5 people watching. Brilliant. Okay. So, is anybody new here? Because there's a couple of indicators that I love, which are on the screen at the moment, that you might not know about. Actually, I'm going to turn this one off for a moment. So the indicators are, just turn that off. And I'll just put that one out of the way for the moment. And get rid of that. Okay. So this is Bitcoin USD on TradingView using ByBit as the data source, and this is the BTC USD perpetual contract rather than the BTC USDT perpetual. Okay. Cyprian says, I'm looking to take some profits because I don't trust weekend pumps. Yeah, I know what you mean. There's also a CME gap to think about as well. Let me just show you that before I forget. So if we look on cmegroup.com, look for Bitcoin, and go to this one here, Bitcoin overview. This is the actual CME price, so 104.095. I'm just going to make a note of that somewhere. If I can find a pen and a bit of paper. Very old school here. Right, so 104.095. Right. Cool. Rezan, hi. Do you think it's a fake out? I actually don't, but I do think the price will come back down to this kind of price, 104.095, sometime in the next day or two. So if we get like a right big pump tonight, then it could come down to here. Okay, so that's what I think. Anyway, let's go back to the chart. That's not the chart. That chart. First of all, for regular people will know that I sometimes look at this Stonksy indicator. I've actually been working for Stonksy for the past month. I'm not going to anymore. I'm going to guest on Wednesdays on Dave's live stream show, but I'm not going to do the regular days now. So what I'm planning on doing is doing more live things myself and possibly doing it every day, I think. So weekends might be a bit hit and miss depending on what I'm doing. This kind of time on a Sunday is probably okay. And I'll probably do a Saturday morning. And then the weekdays, I think the best time for me is probably about 9 a.m. UK time, which will be about 8 a.m. UTC. I think that's what I'll do. Okay, now, so this Stonksy indicator puts these green and red things in the background here. And I've found generally on the 1 hour time frame, that's like really, really good. And you can see here that, you know, it goes green there and the price goes up, goes green there, the price went up a bit. The red one, it came down, you know, green one, it went up. It's actually, you know, it's a really quite a reliable indicator on the 1 hour time frame. It is a paid indicator, but, you know, is good. Now, Stonksy on the daily time frame, right? Just ignore those labels for a moment. That's actually showing what's happening on the 1 hour time frame, regardless of what time frame you're actually on. Now look at this. We've actually got a green background that appeared today. And obviously that's on a daily candle. The daily candle hasn't closed yet. And it's not going to close until midnight tonight. But if this green background remains green, that could be very good. The last time that happened was here, okay, which was January 2023, okay, and that doesn't look that big here, but from there we were at about 22.6k. Okay, now it didn't go straight up, it did dip a bit here, okay, but you know that green background lasted for 222 days, and during that period it went up 43%. Okay, so that could signify quite a significant move, I think. If you look at the time before was in 2020. In fact, that was just after the pandemic, wasn't it? So the pandemic was down here. That was a summer of the pandemic. I'm not sure if I should say that or not, but anyway, I mean there, that green background lasted, well, pretty much 356, well, pretty much a year actually, and the price went up 545%. Okay, so the fact that we've just got a green background on the daily is quite exciting, I think. Anyway, let's turn that off for the moment. I do really want to put that banner up on the top of the screen. Tell you what, let's see if I can do that. Let's just try that. So I'm going to add image. I'm going to say banner. Okay. And browse for that. This is my, well, it's not a new MacBook. It's a second-hand one I bought 2 days ago for £400. It's an M2 MacBook Air, and it's really nice. And I'm just going to use it for live streaming, so there won't be any chance of any, random messages popping up that are going to be a bit embarrassing. Okay, so right, live stream banner. Okay, so let's try that. So open. Okay. Okay. Right, that looks like it's put it in the right place. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Don't want to do that. I want to just move that. Oh. Tell you what I can do. I can move this across to my other monitor. That's what I'm going to do. And I can see what I'm doing. And you should be able to see the chart. And that means I can do that kind of bigger. Right. So that looks too skinny. And then I just wanted to put that QR code. That's all right, isn't it? So yeah, so if you want to trade on Blofin until the 26th, I think, or it might be the 28th, but until the 26th of May, if you do a deposit between $100 and $2,000, you get a 20% trading bonus. And you have to achieve a certain trading volume, but it's really low. It's like $5,000 or something, which is like, literally just a couple of trades. So you need to do that, and well, obviously you need to trade as well. But so just trade normally, and you get 20%. So that's up to a maximum of $2,000. So if you deposit $2,000, you should get $400 for free. I'm just going to add that thingy code as well. Let's have a look how to do that. So sorry about this. I should have done it beforehand, but I didn't. So create new. Just talking to myself. Right. So add that. Now where is it? Ah, okay. Got it. That should be appearing on the screen near you any second now. Now, I just want to check that that works. Just check that with my phone. And then hopefully I'll be able to save this as a stream ready to go, so I can just quickly start it in the future. Because I was having a problem last night where OBS was crashing. Okay, right, that works. Brilliant. Awesome. Right, quick slap. Right. So Stonksy has gone green on the 1 day. It's green on the 1 hour, which is amazing. Also, if I go to, excuse me, put on my moving averages. For anyone who hasn't seen these before, if you go to my website, which is savewithcrypto.org, it's .org, not .com. There's a video on the home page that shows you how to set these up. It's a free indicator on TradingView. And what these are these red, cyan, yellow and green lines. And these are EMAs, exponential moving averages. So that's a 5, 9, 21 and 55 EMAs, exponential moving averages. And generally, when you get across of the yellow and green, it's a very bullish sign. And when you get across of the yellow and green the other way, it's a very bearish sign. So here, for example, on the daily time frame, you can see that we went bearish in February, and then we went bullish again in April, and we've been going up since. So that's all good news. On lower time frames, it will show you what the trend is on a smaller time frame. So for example, if you look on the 5 minute, you can see here that we've actually been in a nice uptrend since about midnight this morning, well, midnight last night, and it's been going up absolutely beautifully. And when you've got them in the correct order, which is like red, cyan, yellow, green, that is a trend in motion. So that is, the trend is up at the moment, certainly on the 5 minute, certainly on the 1 hour, and certainly on the 1 day as well. It's looking absolutely amazing. So consequently, I am long. I've gone long on Blofin here. It wasn't a very good entry, actually, because I have got two of the big trades on BitGet and ByBit that with much lower entries. So this is one I've just been sort of playing around with, and I want to do a kind of challenge with myself, going from $4,000 to whatever I can get to before that 20% offer runs out. So at the moment, I'm not sure actually. I might just, if I see a reasonable profit on this, I might just close it and then look for another entry. What I really want to see is like a big pullback, so I can go quite heavy. But I just don't know if that's going to happen at the moment. Anyway, I've got a bit of spare cash there, in case it does pull back to there. That's not there for any particular reason. In fact, it's probably a bit high, if anything. I was obviously looking at that low there, wasn't I? Let's leave that where it is for the moment. Anyway, so I will be doing a kind of spreadsheet with this to sort of monitor how it's all going. So I basically started off with $4,000 yesterday in the futures account, and I think I've got slightly above that now. Yeah, 4,197, which is not bad. But that is unrealized because that trade is still open at the moment, which I will close down if I have to, actually. But yeah, so that's good. That's good. I'm happy with that. So all is good with the EMAs. Now the other indicator I'm using is this one here called the quad rotation stochastic, which I discovered a couple of months ago when somebody showed it to me, and it was an open source indicator, and there was a few things that didn't work on it, so I started fiddling with the code a little bit, and I didn't really get anywhere with it. And then this guy called Crypto J came along, got hold of the code, fixed everything, and said, there you go. So I actually published it, and I've had a bit of a problem publishing it because TradingView kept banning it. So I think at the moment it's been out for 2 weeks now. I think I published it 2 Sundays ago. So I think at the moment it's good. So that's what it's called. Just go to your indicators like normally. And if you search for quad rotation stochastic, you'll find it. Quad rotation stochastic, and it's, the author is Save with Crypto, but it's not really me because it's open source software. The thing is, the original open source guy just disappeared, and the script went as well, which is why I kind of republished it. So anyway, so what this does, this here, let's look at it on a. I look at this on quite low time frames to do kind of scalping type things. So I'll generally have it on like the 1 minute, the 3 minute, and the 12 minute. And what I'm looking for generally is all the 4 stochastics, and these are the same colours as those ones there. So the fastest moving one is the red one, then there's a cyan, then a yellow, then a green. What I'm looking for is when they all bunch up down the bottom or bunch up down the top. So you can see they were all down the bottom there, and that was a bottom there. And then, say, when they were all up at the top here, that was the top there, you see. Now you also get these other things as well. I was going to double click this to sort of to show you. I know it looks a complete mess, but there's a few different things here. It tries to do, well, it does detect bullish and bearish divergence. So when you see these straight lines here, these green ones here, that's when it's detecting bullish divergence, and the red straight ones up here is when it's detecting bearish divergence. Okay. Now at the moment, I haven't particularly got the what do you call them, the alerts working quite right on these, on the actual bearish and bullish divergence detection. That's the only thing at the moment that's not working properly. Everything else, as far as I know, is working correctly. But this chart's right. I mean, where they appear is correct. But what I tend to look at a lot is these green crosses up here and these red arrows. Okay. And also down the bottom, you also get red crosses and green arrows. Okay. So what these are all about, these are all to do with when the stochastics get into this territory here. So this white line here, that's a 10% line. That white line there is a 20% line. That white line there is the 80% line. And this dotted one here is the 90% level. Okay, so it's an oscillator, so it goes between 0 and 100. So when these are all bunched up and they're starting to reverse, you get these green arrows here, which is called a super up indicator, and the red one coming down is a super down indicator. And these are amazing, especially on the higher time frames as well. However, when you see one of those, you shouldn't get too excited, because if you start to see these red crosses appearing as well, what that means is like, okay, we're probably at a reversal, but you need to hang on a few minutes because it's not finished dumping yet. And if you look at this instance here, you can see here that the green arrow appeared here. You got another green arrow here. Then the red crosses stayed all the way until about here. Okay, and then the price went up. Okay, so the same happens the other way around. Obviously, the bearish trends aren't quite so big at the moment because we're in a bit of a lively area with Bitcoin. But you can see here, so everything was up the top there. The price was really high, and then you got these green crosses, meaning the price is still trying to go up. I must admit, it was actually coming down by then, but really, once they'd stopped appearing, the price did come down a bit more. And then you can see when it went up there, that wasn't totally obvious. That was this morning, wasn't it? But what we got is these green straight lines here, which is the bullish divergence. That was detected. And as soon as that stopped there, the price went up. And that seems to be the way things work out, because then this is only the 1 minute time frame, but here you got like the red bearish divergence, and it tried to come down a little bit but didn't really have it, and the price has just been going a bit mental, and we've got all them green arrows there, but even so, pull back a little bit, and then it's just been going great. Anyway, so what's happened there? Oh, okay, it's pulled back a little bit there. Okay, so this might be a good example of what we can see with this. Maybe we'll get some like crosses and stuff that might appear there. Now, in this situation, I find it better to use the split version with TradingView. So I've got the first one that you pay for. I think it's called TradingView Essential, like the cheapest paid one, and that gives a maximum of 2, either side by side or on top of each other. So that's what I'm doing here. I must admit, it would be nice to have 3 going across, but we haven't got that, so never mind. Right, find $. What those crosses mean? Indication to wait. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, actually. Kind of hoping we get one live, actually. I'm going to turn Stonksy off because that's a bit confusing. I mean, the thing to do is get the indicator yourself, put it on your chart, and just spend like, I don't know, a few days or even a week looking at the chart and seeing what it does, and then see if you can get an idea of like where a bottom is going to be or where a top's going to be, because that is what we're trying to do here. In fact, what I think I might do, I mean, I'm not going to stop on the live stream forever tonight. It's just that I didn't make a video this morning, so I thought I'd try out the live stuff again. So this is probably not looking quite as clever as it was. Actually, I'm so tempted just to close this, start again. Shall I do that? Let me have a look. I don't mind because I've got like much bigger trades open elsewhere. So what do I think it's going to do? Let's change that other one there to the 12 minute time frame. Oh, by the way, on this you get these red backgrounds and green backgrounds as well, which is yet another thing where it means like all the stochastics are up there. They're basically all to do with the position of these 4 different stochastics. But yeah, so the green crosses. What do they do here? Well, see, we've got the one there. So you'd had the red bearish divergence there. So you'd have been thinking, okay, it's going to crash any minute now. But then you get the green cross saying, oh, hang on a minute, there might be a bit more upside, you know. And then there was another one, and actually by then it started to go down a little bit. So, yeah, that's probably not the best example, is it? The thing is, there it just came up a lot, hadn't it? So, yeah. Trying to think now. So what happened there? You did get the red background there, and the price came down. Let's see what happens with the next one. So at the moment, what you can see here is that the red and the cyan stochastics, they've actually started to come down a little bit. So, you know, the price might have a little bit of a cool off for a minute. Let's go back to the 3 and the 1. The 3 and the 1 look quite lively though, I must admit. It's really hard to tell what's going on. And you see what I was saying about them EMAs as well, is at the moment they're not in the right order, are they? You know, they were in. This is only the 1 minute, but like, you know, the red, cyan, yellow, green, that's correct for going up, and then the red one's been playing about a little bit, and that's come down here. Yeah, so that needs to get back up there. But you know, on the 3 minute time frame, they've behaved quite well. Right. Let's have a look. On the 12 minute, to be fair, the 2 green crosses were right. Yeah, well, they were really. Yeah. It just had a bit of a blip there. Twin says Ponzi. What is Bitcoin? Yeah, probably. Math, as there was more upside. Yeah. Do we know when Dave's doing his live stream tonight? By the way, because I don't want to go on to his spot. I think he does it later, like 7 o'clock, doesn't he? Let me just have a quick look on the Discord. He's not announced it yet. I don't think. Oh, hang on. What am I looking at? All right, just talk amongst yourselves for a moment. Okay, he's not said so far, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. You think it's usually you? Oh yeah. What, 7 o'clock? Okay, right. So that's having a bit of little bit of a dump now. It's hardly a dump, but so let's just see what these stochastics do here. I suppose I should have some music really. I could play something. Just play some chords. Okay. $10. I think someone mentioned on TradingView the alerts on divergences are not currently working. Do you think you'll be able to update it to make it work? Right. So it's the alerts that aren't working. I did try it this morning actually. The way they're working, as in they're sending the alerts, but they're not sending them at the right time, really. And I don't actually know what would be the most useful, to be honest, because would you want to see it like when one of these red lines appear, or when one of the green lines appear at the bottom? Is that what you'd want to see? Because I suppose it'd be useful. Yeah, I don't know actually. I'm still thinking about it. I did try and fix it this morning with the help of Grok, and it just messed the code up. So I gave up on that. I mean, if that guy Crypto J gets in touch again, I might get him to have a look at it, because he was brilliant. But I don't know. I'm not finding it that useful to know when the actual divergence is appearing. What I find more useful is to know when you got the super up and super downs and the green and red crosses. But yeah, I mean, if I can get it fixed, I will. Or better still, if I can find somebody who knows what they're doing who can fix it, that'd be better. But yeah, I did actually start making a video this morning about me sort of fault finding what that guy said on TradingView, and then it wasn't so much a matter of like, oh, they're not working. It was like, yeah, they're working, but they're not working quite how I expected them to. So yeah, then it just got me thinking again that that was a bit tricky. But I don't know. But they are putting them in the right places anyway. So look, what's happening here? The price is coming down, right? So what we want to see. What? How's my trade's underwater? Buggers. Okay. Now I'm going to move that order down a bit while I think about it. Because what I might do is I might use whatever we see on the chart to add this to the long. I'm back in profit now. I think with this I'm gonna set a take profit about there. And if that hits, then I can start without a trade. Right, so I've got an alert set there. Right, so what you've got here, right, you've got a green background there. And now the price is going back up. So what you can see here, right, is the fast ones, the red and the cyan, they're actually pretty much together there, aren't they? So if they go back up, the price will go back up. But it's not really like a bottom, is it? It's like it's just a sort of something you could probably scalp if you were doing something. I'm not sure. Right. Reson said, the BTC price is rejecting pullback to 103 next. Okay. Why 103? What makes you say that? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, why do you think that? Why do you think 103? Oh, what? Because that was to just retrace this pump here. Yeah, possibly, yeah. Or is that a fib level you're looking at, maybe? I suppose you go 103 would be the 618 fib. Yeah, so yeah, possible. Right, what has been your experience with the quad stochastic so far? Pretty accurate. Yeah, I mean, as I say, it's it's very new to me. But if you look at it on, say, like the 1 hour time frame, and then let me just turn off the lines. Hang on. How do I do that? Right, don't like doing this. I feel naked when I do that. Right, just to make things a bit clearer. So if you're doing more kind of macro type stuff, this green super up there, all right, wasn't quite. Yeah, that one wasn't brilliant. That one was brilliant. Pretty much. That one there went up quite a lot. This one here, that kind of caught that bottom there, and then we went all the way up there, didn't we? So for this kind of thing, if you'd have actually gone long on the 7th of April, I mean, just for doing stuff like that, go long from 7th of April, then we're up 41%. I mean, that's brilliant. Obviously, you need to be aware of what kind of trend you're in, but obviously that's what you can use the moving averages for. But say like when you're in a downtrend like we were here, okay, then that red arrow there, if you'd have gone short then, although, yeah, okay, so, I don't know, doesn't get everyone, does it? I don't know though, that red one there. Yeah, I think certainly on like the 1 hour time frame, it you could see some pretty cool macro stuff, but I like it on these like 1, 3 and 12 is what I like, but the 1, 3 and 5 sometimes. Let me just put the lines back. That looks a bit weird without it, but I know it is a messy looking indicator. Why is that not coming up? Scary. What have I done? Let's give the page a refresh. Okay. Right, let's put those back. Oh, what you can do as well, you can do this thing where you can match the actual divergence lines to the actual stochastic colour that's creating them. So if you do that, then you say this one here, that big straight cyan one. Okay, so it was the cyan stochastic that was causing the bullish divergence there. So if you think about it, you've got the red one is the fastest, and then it goes cyan, yellow, and then green is the slowest. So really it's the kind of green ones that are probably going to be more powerful but will appear less often. So that would have been, can't see one at the moment. I'm sure there's one somewhere. Let's look for a yellow one. There's a yellow one. So that yellow one happened there, then it stopped there, then the price went up all the way there. I think it's quite accurate. I mean, it's based on the past performance. So obviously, it can't, predict what's going to happen at news events and things like that. But oh god, I'm looking at bloody e-gold. Why am I doing that? Sorry, that's why nothing was looking right. Right, on Bitcoin, this works very well. Can't believe I did that. I was wondering why nothing made sense. Right. Bitcoin. I was looking at the 1 hour. Right, there's a yellow one. Yellow one there, and then boom, up it went. Anyway, but yeah, just get it, play with it, look at it, and see if you can. Well, next time you see like a bottom or a top on pretty much any time frame, really, just have a look what you saw. So, for example, here on the 5 minute, everything was, well, the yellow and the green, the stronger ones, they were sort of bunching up there, and that was a top, like a little local top there, coming back down now. But then if you look at it on the larger time frame, you can see, okay, you got the red background there. Red background is also, I think the red background happens when there's two stochastics above the 80% and they're angling down, something like that. I mean, you can look at the code. You can look at the, if you're any good with this kind of stuff, you can go to the Pine editor and look at the code and work out what it's doing. And you can actually get all this, like you can get the whole code, stick it into ChatGPT and say, what does this do? Or, how can I use this? And it will come up with ideas for you. So that's the thing you can do, which is quite cool. And I would like it to be a sort of, a good sort of team effort of like, a few people having a go at it and seeing if they can improve it, make it better. And that's what the whole open source idea is all about. But yeah, as I say, I'm a bit new for that. These EMAs, though, I just love them. I mean, look at this. The 1 hour, yellow and green cross there, boom. Brilliant, isn't it? Even little one there. When they crossed there, went up. All right, pulled back a little bit, then went up. And great. This one here. This one here was phenomenal. Look at that cross there. Down at 94k on the 7th of May. Fantastic. So, yeah, I actually think I could probably survive with just those EMAs and that quad stochastic, and I think I'd be absolutely fine. So there you go. So what to do with this trade? Well, nothing now because I'm underwater. I should have closed it when I was 100 and something in profit, shouldn't I? Okay. Well, I'm going to assume that Dave's going to do his Stonksy indicator show at 7 o'clock. So I don't want to encroach onto his time. So I'll probably wind it up in the next few minutes. Unless anyone's got any more questions or anything you'd like to mention or tell me about. Oh, it's annoying that's underwater, isn't it? It would have been nice to close the stream with on a pump. Maybe we'll get one. Let's just leave that there for a minute. Let's get a bit more water. Back in a sec. Yeah, maybe you're right about that 103 thing. Cyprian, told you that I don't like weekend pumps. Yeah. Well, there is that CME gap as well, you see, which was at 104.095. So I'm quite expecting that to be touched as well in the next 24 hours or so. I'll stop coming down. Anyway, so right. So I know there's not many of you here, but if you could give the stream a like, that'd be great, because I want to get YouTube trained so it knows that I'm doing regular live streams. So hopefully a lot more people will come along. That'd be really good. I am also aware I didn't announce it on X or on the Telegram group, which I should have done. But it's probably because just while I'm there's a possibility of me making a horrible mistake, then I probably don't want that many people here until I get better at it. Okay. If you want to help me out at all, if you want to use any of these exchanges, I can get you big bonuses here. If you use that link there to ByBit, you get up to 30 grand. BitGet as well, you also get 30,000. Blofin is the current offer I've got, where you get 20% trading bonus. BitUnix actually, their offer finished, but they did have a 20% deposit bonus last week actually, so that one's finished. I need to contact her and say do something good for me readers, for my viewers. And then there's a few other ones here that I don't use that often. That's how you get in touch with me. This is the YouTube channel, X. There's a blog on this site here, and Telegram, the free Telegram group as well. You can join that. So all that here is on savewith.crypto.org, and as it says here, it's .org, not .com. I might buy the .com I might buy the .com domain name one day, but at the moment the guy wants $3,000 for it, so that's not going to happen just yet. So the last price for Bitcoin at the CME on Friday was 104.095, so definitely expecting that at some point. And I would love to just get out of this trade, but it's not going to happen, is it? So I'm going to say goodbye to you all. So I can actually say goodbye to all of you. So thank you, Cyprian. Thank you, FN Dollars. Thank you, Rezan. Thank you, Maf. Thank you, Twins. And I think that's it, really. And anyone else who was watching and didn't want to do anything in the chat, don't be shy. It's all good. But yeah, So I think, I think we'll probably chop around for a few hours, and then as the Asia markets start to open in a few hours' time, we might see a bit more activity. I think it's going to be a lot of up and down this week, because I believe El Presidente is talking to various people about the Ukraine-Russian war and stuff. So we'll see what happens there. Hopefully all the fighting would stop. That would be good, wouldn't it? Anyway, right. So I'm going to say goodbye. I should have some sort of outro music, shouldn't I? Oh, that's all right. Right. Any chance? Any last questions? That's not how I do that. So I'm playing a chord. That's better. Oh. There you go. All right. Right. See you all tomorrow. Okay. Right. Thanks a lot for coming along, and take care, and trade safely. Don't use silly leverage like I do, and see you on the flip side. All right. Take care. Bye.